Good evening, everybody. It's Art Lindensky. It's November 30th, which means tomorrow flips over to December. It's winter sports time. So tonight we're here. We're going to be looking at the boys and girls basketball teams preseason. We'll hear with the voice of South River Sports, Fred Roselli, coach from the girls basketball team, Mike Feaster. Fred?
Good afternoon, everybody, and a belated happy Thanksgiving, a happy, healthy holiday to everybody here. You know, we try to get in all the teams before the season starts. We're going to, I guess, a week and a half now, going to be playing ball.
Yeah, 2 weeks
practicing now. Yeah, practicing now. So we're going to do boys and girls basketball. We're doing the girls first. First of all, Coach, welcome to TV 35.
Thank you very much.
Hard to believe that it's that time of year again already.
Yeah, I know. It came up quick, but we're pretty excited about it.
Everyone realizes you lost a chunk of scoring with Tiffany graduating.
Who?
How soon we forget.
Yeah, no, we don't forget about her.
And you're in a situation, what are your thoughts about how you try to make up? I know we talked about it informally. You try to get a little bit more out of the other players.
Yeah, everybody's got to grab a piece of that, right? Like if you got us 8 or 10 last year, I need 12 or 14. If you got us 5 or 6, we need you to get closer to 8 or 9. You know, it's not going to be one person. It's going to be everybody. And you know, I think they've all done enough in the off season where I think that's a very possible thing.
Probably one of the biggest advantages that you have is the fact that the squad you have now should all be here again next year with what you have as far as your players involved.
Yes, and also got 4 returning starters too. That got a ton of varsity experience. We did have a senior come back to the team, Lee Marie Martinez, so we're happy to have her. Kind of signed up a little later, was on the fence, and we got her, but she's going to help too. So have her as our lone senior, and then what we have coming back, I'm pretty optimistic that we can get pretty close to, if not, you know, a little better than our record.
Who do you anticipate playing guard-wise, anything? You know, offensively, you're looking at a lot of motion, a lot of go.
A lot of up-tempo stuff. We got to get as many layups and easy buckets as we can. And that all starts with our defense. It's kind of been the same scheme here. We like to play the 1-3-1 and trap everything, and it really leads to the breakout for us. I think we're very fortunate in the fact that I think any girl on the court can handle the ball. Madison Bertucci's obviously our point guard on paper, and she'll do the majority of the ball handling for us in a perfect world. But if someone tries to take that away, I think we have a lot of capable pieces that can kind of start our offense for us and get us up the floor.
Do you feel you got enough experience in the players that are coming back to be able to flow right into the next season? Because you got, like you said, 4 starters returning, which is a great issue, a great problem to have.
Yeah. I mean, we have a lot of experience. We just don't necessarily have a lot of experience in the roles that I'm looking for them to play this year, right? Because we were a lot of Tiffany Fisher centric last year, and for a lot of good reasons too. She's a great player, but now we need to be more balanced, and we need everybody's role to kind of just take that next jump up.
Are you starting to see that as the practices are progressing? Granted, you only had a few practices at this stage.
I do like what I see so far. We just had a great practice, a really, really good practice. And I'm optimistic we're going to keep building on it. We come out right out of the gate with probably our toughest division opponent, Metuchen. They have a similar situation where they lost their superstar player, but they have a lot of complementary pieces back. So it should be a test right out of the gate for us. But I'm optimistic, and there's no reason, in my opinion, we can't win the Blue Division. If I was in Las Vegas, I think we'd be the first team on the board.
Good sign, good attitude for the team to have. As you come in this year, are you, as the coach, comfortable with the number of girls that have the experience? Are you comfortable with where your team's at? You're not into the season yet, but as far as conditioning, set up everything at this stage.
Mr. Minto does a good job of having them come in pretty good shape off the soccer, since almost my entire team plays soccer.
Good plus, because soccer has not done too bad either.
No, absolutely not. Yeah, no, they're doing great too. So, but they always come in shape, and that's kind of the one thing that I think over the course of the last 5 to 7 years that we do better than anyone around here is we play that high pressure, up tempo, fast, speed the game up, make you feel uncomfortable type of game. Because as much as we're playing basketball, we have a lot of soccer kids playing basketball, right? So we try to use some of the things that come from that sport to our advantage, and I think it's been a pretty good recipe for us.
Yeah, conditioning's critical. If you have the number of players coming off the bench and everything limited to what you're comfortable with. Conditioning is going to be the key because they've got to get that fourth quarter in.
Yeah, I mean, if you're
Second half.
if you're throwing 8 or 9 or 10 girls in a rotation in a game, the conditioning can kind of
Yeah.
fall back a little. But we don't really have that luxury this year. We're probably going to go at most 8 deep. In certain situations, might be 6 or 7. So, conditioning's a plus, and we are in a good spot where we are.
Rumor has it, and none of this is ever rehearsed.
Whenever you start a sentence like that, I wonder where you're going with it
Be
next.
scared.
Rumor has it that there's been a quote that said, "I'd like to be playing ball in March."
I would love to be playing ball in March, especially the state tournament starts a week and a half earlier this year. The state tournament starts on February 20th.
Oh, that's why
So
I'm talking
if
to you.
we're playing in March, there's going to be no happier person in the world than me.
The team has that potential, though.
We have the potential to win some tournament games for sure. But we're really looking at it one thing at a time. We really want to win the blue
I was just
division.
going to say, let's start with the
Yeah,
blue
we
division.
really want to win the blue division. Like I said, I think we're near the top, if not the favorite. Again, that's a lot to depend on with our health and
and
how
injuries.
things go throughout the season.
Other than Metuchen, who do you think your biggest opponent is in the blue division?
Spotswood, Metuchen and Spotswood in the blue division are definitely the 2 teams that we look to. We really have to get them when we play them.
Do the girls view a Spotswood South River rivalry like you did when you played ball? That it was, you're playing. I don't care what happens all year. We got to win Spotswood.
I think they look forward to it, but I also know that we've had a pretty good track record playing them lately. So, it was Middlesex for a while. They moved up a division. But yeah, I think this year could be the renewal of that, like where we're really focused on how important that game is, especially because we'll both be near the top of the division for sure.
Let's talk a little bit about your starters or your anticipated starters right now.
Yeah. So Madison Vitucci, returning all-division player, primary ball handler, really good shooter, understands how I want the team to play, and kind of just shows that on the floor. She really directs everybody. She knows where I want everybody. And
Floor captain.
she's
for
a
you.
floor captain for us for sure. Natalia Veracruz, very athletic, adds a lot of length. I'm looking for her to do a lot of the things defensively that Tiff did last year. Really cause a problem, once the team gets over half court. Marilyn Orleana, she played a lot of JV last year, got in some varsity games, but she's very athletic. She's very aggressive, and I like what I've seen from her so far. Gianna Rodriguez in the middle, sophomore. Nobody worked harder on their game in the offseason. I expect that to pay off for her big time. I think a lot of the replacement in offense is going to come from her, from Tiffany. And I think you're going to see it in her, her side of the stat sheet. And then we have Lee Martinez. She came back for her senior year. She always did a lot of things well for us. We had a lot of seniors last year, so she didn't necessarily get as much playing time as maybe she deserved, to be honest with you. But she's going to get plenty this year, and I think she'll be a good contributor. We have a freshman, Cynthia Silva. She's very, very athletic. She's going to do some, she's going to contribute a lot. And I think Ashley Pereira, she's started last year for us, and she really was like tied the whole defense together. She's super athletic. She can almost touch the rim, which is kind of crazy. She's really, really athletic, and she's like the backbone of our defense, really. The way we want to play, the only reason we can play it is because of her.
In the event a squad comes in with a big girl, how do you feel you got to handle it?
I got the girl for that. Gianna can take care of anybody in our division, in my opinion.
Good.
How many years has it been now, Coach?
More than we count.
I think 13, maybe. I think 13 years, yeah. Longer than I thought it was going to be. But
Pretty soon you'll be as old as us.
I don't want to get there too quick, guys.
Thanks.
But no, it's been a lot of fun doing this. I never really thought I'd be doing it for this long, but I've interacted with a lot of really great kids, and I've had a lot of really good assistant coaches, and things have been pretty good.
That was my next question. It's still fun, I guess.
I love this. I love having fun. I love joking around with the girls, and I like the game planning part of it. I like the practice part of it. So until that stops, I'm going to keep showing up for these things.
Any landmarks players where you as the coach are looking towards, whether it's number of wins, making all blue, all division, all state, all county? That realistic goals.
You know, those goals kind of fall in place when you win, right? So, like, if we win the games that I think we're capable of, then, you know, we'll have some, you know, again, Nat and Maddie returning all division. If we win the games we're supposed to win, they'll get it. And Gianna is almost certainly, in my opinion, an all division player. There's no doubt in my mind that the three of those girls should get those honors. You know, and unfortunately, you never really get an all division because you're a great defensive player.
I know.
It just doesn't work that way.
Everybody looks at numbers.
Everybody
and
looks
points.
at numbers and points, but there is no doubt in my mind Ashley Pereira is an all division caliber defensive player. So we have the girls to get. It's just a matter of do you win, because you don't get 3 all division players if you come in third place in your division. It just doesn't work that way. So
numbers don't fall.
yeah, so we'll get all that stuff if we win the way we expect to win, and hopefully that's the case.
How about assistant coaches? So I know usually the JV coach will help out. Who do you have working with you this year?
So I have Nikki Cocoilo. She's an English teacher here at the high school. She actually played for me my first year coaching at JP Stevens. She was a freshman. She was
Now you start to feel old.
like, yeah. When she told me she was 30 years old, I'm like, oh my God. I'm like, I can't believe it. But no, she was the head coach at JP Stevens for 2 years and an assistant under a very good head coach for 6. So she's already been incredibly valuable in practice. We're lucky to have her, and you know, one day she's probably going to take over for me, I think. So
okay. It's nice to know it's the program's at least in good hands.
yeah, that you know what that is. You know, you don't want to ever leave any of the kids you coach, because you
Yeah.
never have all seniors, right? You never want to leave them with someone who's not capable. But she is certainly 100% capable, and she's been a huge asset to us already.
Coach, as the season goes on, you know my attitude. I love doing interviews, and for those that don't watch TV 35, we only do interviews when we win. We've had the good fortune to do many interviews up to now. We'd
Recently, yeah.
like to keep that going that way.
I hope so. I anticipate it going that way. So hopefully, again, everybody stays healthy. Everybody continues to work hard at practice. We're going to end up right where we want to be.
Coach, thank you very much for your
Thank
time.
you.
We appreciate it.
Thank you.
Looking forward
Good
to
luck.
a lot of talking
All right.
about you.
Thanks a lot.
We're going to be back in just a few minutes with a couple of these young ladies we were talking about and get them in the interview. Welcome back, Fred Rizzelli with TV 35. We had the good fortune, we spoke with Coach Feaster, the girls' coach. Now we're here to speak with some of our players, most of whom are returning from last year. We'll let you introduce themselves.
I'm Natalia Veracruz. I play shooting guard.
Madison Vitucci, point guard.
Gianna Rodriguez, forward.
I think you were all here and you kind of heard Coach talking about the team and the squad as a whole. Good squad coming back, a lot of returning players. Thoughts about the makeup of your team this year? Anybody?
I think we have a good dynamic. We've always had a good dynamic.
I
Yeah.
think that us growing up together and always playing with each other has really helped our chemistry. We don't really miss a beat. Since we're always constantly with each other playing basketball, I think that we're going to do good this year.
Do you think summer ball helped a lot? Did you just play much summer ball? Did you just do it just working out on your own?
I did play AAU competitively this past spring, and I also have been training since last season. But I think our girls here were very busy with soccer. So.
Yeah, we were very busy with soccer, but
And congratulations, you had quite a good season this year.
Yeah,
Coach
thank
Minto did a nice job. Without you guys, though, it would have been nothing, I'm sure of that.
definitely not,
We just won't show them this tape.
of course.
Gianna, let's talk for a minute. Juniors. I understand.
Okay.
Juniors,
Yeah.
sophomore.
Yes.
How does that affect you or don't bother you in the least?
I don't think it really bothers me. I feel like since playing basketball with middle school with Natalia, I think that helped a lot coming in, especially the South River atmosphere. You've been with the same people your whole life, kind of. And I've been playing basketball and just trying to get my game up since freshman year.
Do you think at this stage of the season and the amount of experience that you had that this is going to be a big plus for you this year?
Yes, I think that this year I will definitely step up my game from last year. Last year, I played the role that the team needed me to play, but I think this year I'll be able to definitely play at a better rate and a better role and help our team out more this year.
Prefer more on the offense or
Yeah.
the defensive end?
Offense, yeah.
I think you all may have heard Coach talk about when you lose a player who graduates and was scoring quite a few points, he's going to look towards every player to be able to contribute 2-3 more points.
Oh, 100%. Yeah. With the loss of Tiff, it was definitely a huge impact on all of us, and I agree that we definitely all need to contribute as far as defense, points, everything.
Points are usually the key to the game.
Oh, yeah.
I just routinely, when we start the games and we talk about the keys to the game, you got to have double-digit quarters. It's got to be every quarter. I know some of the teams that we've had over the past years, 3 strong quarters and 1 single-digit 4 or 5 points, and you lose by a few.
Yeah.
Do you think this year because of the amount of experience you all have playing together, you can get over that hump?
Yeah, I think we're all pretty level-headed, and like Gianna said, we all just have a great chemistry to a point where we're all just going to be able to contribute the equal amount of points and the equal amount of energy and passion onto the court.
You may have heard Coach talk about what he expects of you as a player, being what I call the floor captain.
Mm-hmm.
Looking forward to taking over that role?
Oh, 100%. I've always jumped into like a leadership role no matter what I've done, and I definitely feel like I'm up for this one too.
Natalia, thoughts about the squad this year coming in? You hear what some of the other players are talking about. Thoughts about how you are going to be able to pick it up a notch on the offensive end or on the defensive end?
I think on the defensive end we're pretty solid, but offensively we all have to score, put up a couple more points than we all did last year, and I think the 5th starter is going to be like a big impact on us.
Do you think starting out with a squad like Metuchen is a plus, where you're going to see how tough it is right from word go, or do you wish that was maybe down the road a little bit?
I think it's good that it's our first game.
Yeah.
Coming off 3 scrimmages, and so that we know what the season's going to be like.
Thoughts about how your scrimmages went? Were you as the players comfortable with what you produced at the scrimmages?
Our
Yeah,
scrimmages
that's
start
really
next
good.
week.
Oh, okay, that solves that problem real easy, gang. The way that you practice, is it gradually working it up, getting out of soccer mold and getting into basketball mode?
I think that our coaches have really been working on the skill aspect since we lack a little bit of that. We don't have that many basketball players in our high school, so I think their focus on skill work is definitely a huge plus. I did injure my ankle though, so I haven't been practicing, but I think that our coaches have been working really hard to work everyone on the team, and they'll be prepared for the scrimmages.
That way you can be healed up for when the season gets here.
Yes.
That's what we're looking for. Coach talked about a new coach coming in at the JV level. Obviously, she has input coming from another school where she coached and all. Do you find that better, worse? You're more comfortable with what you're doing. You don't want change. You do want change.
I find it way better. Last year I give credit to Coach Minto, and even though he had to step up from being a soccer coach to a JV coach, I think it's definitely better that we have somebody a little more experienced and somebody more that is going to help us on the court.
As well as a little closer to your age
Yes.
than Coach Feaster, who's way up there.
Yeah,
You can tell he's a little up there on age,
Yeah.
talking about how many years he's been doing
Yeah.
this.
And
Don't tell him I said that. Because I can remember doing interviews when Coach Feaster was a player
Right.
here, so give you an idea how old I am.
Yeah.
Feelings about what I always call a rivalry game. Do you find, since Middlesex is out of the blue picture, and especially the ones juniors, Middlesex has been a little bit of a thorn at times for South River. Do you see as the, quote, team that you got to beat being Metuchen, or is it the old South River Spotswood rivalry? What do you think? What are your thoughts?
I think that the rivalry between Spotswood has been always a rivalry from middle school and through high school, but I think that at this point Spotswood and Metuchen are kind of the same.
Okay.
But I think that the excitement and the energy and the anticipation for a Spotswood game always gets our nerves up and running, but I think that we'll be good for both.
Thoughts, ladies?
Spotswood games are always exciting, and I feel like that's when we all play our best because that's the one game we all always love to win. Metuchen's always like a good team to play. I feel like it's not an easy game every year, so that's also exciting.
Coach would tell you every game is an
Yes.
important game to play.
Mhm.
He's not here, so we don't worry about that. Your thoughts about it?
Yeah, I agree with both of them. I feel like rivalry games, as far as Spotswood, are always a common and great one for everybody to come out and watch and for us to play. But I feel like Metuchen and Middlesex have always been like a little rivalry between us as a team, I feel like. And I feel like once we really, like, how do I say this? I feel like once we figure out, like, our team chemistry better,
Gel together.
yeah, we'll figure out easier ways to beat them.
Most of the teams like that, you play them twice, so you'll know after the first time you played them what you have to deal with the second time around.
Yeah.
Do you all feel like the team is healthy, other than your ankle for right now? Is the rest of the team healthy? Look like we're doing well.
Yeah.
As the season progresses, do you think you'll be able to pick up a notch? I know at times Coach gets demanding on his defense with that 1-3-1. Do you think that's something that'll wear on you while you're out on the court, or no, we're in good enough shape from soccer and all, we should not have that problem?
I mean, I think that our kind of lack of players will definitely wear us out a little bit more than it has in the past. We had somewhat of a full bench last year, so we were able to sub in and out, get quick breaks. But this year, we'll definitely need to work extra hard on keeping our stamina up and working hard throughout the whole game.
Thoughts, ladies?
I feel like the 1-3-1, after a certain amount of time, it does get tiring. But if you do actually do what you're supposed to do by getting the ball and trapping, it shouldn't really be a problem, because then the other team's just gonna get tired of it.
Sometimes easier said than done, though.
Yeah.
Any particular advantages you think that you have this year that you didn't have last year? More experience? The fact that you got to pick it up a notch because there's seniors that are gone? What do you think is an advantage with that?
I feel like we're just more athletic, and we have
Okay.
a more athletic group, not even just one person or two people. I feel like us as a team are just wholly more athletic than maybe some of the other teams.
I think that this year will be more balanced across the board, all contributing 10 to 12 to 15 points. And I think
That's
that
great.
will help us win more than it just being one or two players from last year, because that would always hurt us if one player or two players had 20-point games, but then the rest had 5 to 6 points. It didn't really help us, but I think this year being balanced across the board and all being able to contribute on offense and defense will definitely help.
I'm going to ask you one question that applies just to each of you. Is there one thing you thought you want to do better this year that you think you can accomplish? Whether it's go to the next level with the Blue Division, whether it's get double digits more games, whether pick up my notch a little on defense. What do you think your individual goal is that you're looking forward to or trying to?
I think this year I want to score more.
Okay.
Because we obviously need to score, and I feel like not just me, but everyone in general needs to score on our team for us to win. 'Cause
Okay.
I'm
Thoughts?
I definitely feel like us as a team should be able to win the Blue Division. I think me personally, I know that a lot of girls on the team, including myself, struggle a little bit with like self-confidence on the court and a little bit of like a mental health thing with like stress and like messing up and thinking that the game's over. But really, you just have to keep playing, and that's something I'm gonna work on.
Just play each play as it goes along.
100%.
I have an old saying that you can't change the past, but you can control the future. That's all you have to do.
Yeah.
Your thoughts?
I think that this year I definitely want to step up my notch on offense. Last year I didn't contribute as much as I wanted to on offense, but I think this year, from it being a year since our last season, there's been a lot of improvements from myself and the team, and I think that we could definitely win the Blue Division as a team if we just continue to work hard.
If the team comes in with two big girls, what do you think you have to do to stop it?
On defense.
On defense, defensively, what do you think you have to do to stop it? The team comes in and they have two young ladies that are big under the boards.
I think when we had to play bigger girls last year, we definitely did better with either a zone or I would mark one
Okay.
of the big girls, and I think that helped us a lot this year, just working together to guard the basket.
Thoughts, ladies?
Yeah, I feel like those would be the two people we have to take away unless there's really another ball handler
Okay.
or shooter.
We wish you nothing but good luck. like I often tell Coach knows we only do interviews when you win games, and hopefully some of the games you have, you'll have exceeded what was expected, and Coach will bring you over. We'll do interviews with you, but with you, the entire team, nothing but good luck this year.
Thank you.
Thank you.
We're going to be back in just a little while. We're going to jump over to the boys' sports, and we're going to do some interviews with the boys' coach as well as some of their players. We'll be back in just a few minutes.
Welcome back, Art Lundensky again. Now we move on to boys basketball with Coach Brandon Walsh. Fred?
Coming on, we talked with the young ladies. We can do a little talking here with Brandon. Brandon, great to have you here. Welcome to TV 35.
Thanks so much for having me, guys.
Came off a nice season last year. Yeah. Did last season meet your expectations? I know everybody wants to win everything, but we know the reality. Were you satisfied with how you did?
Yeah, I think we expected to improve and get better on a daily basis. We did that. I think we wanted to play a little bit further into the postseason than we did. So we ended a little shorter than we wanted to, but I thought that we got better every single day, and we can look back at that body of work and be ready to build upon it this year.
You think with the team you have returning, a plus, rebuilding? How do you describe it? You got a lot of experience. I heard through the grapevine a lot of practicing with them, summer ball and all. So there's a lot to look forward to as opposed to players that are coming in all summer. They may have been playing just baseball, just soccer or something. You had a lot of guys playing basketball, just plus it makes your job a little easier also.
Yeah, well, I got a great staff, number one, great kids. Secondly, we did play a lot of ball in the offseason. We put in a lot of time to improve after last year's season. Last year's team was last year's team. We graduated 3 guys, Servio Familia, Darren Barbario, Jared Crosby. This year's team is this year's team. We take what we can from last season, and now we're ready to move forward with this group that we have in front of us.
He's not here with us right now, but let's talk a little bit about last. We all know, if you follow South River sports, he's nearing the magic mark here at South River, one of the few elite that can reach 1,000 points. Just thoughts about him in general, and do you think that puts more pressure on him coming in at the beginning of the season, or it's something you're looking forward to so we can get it behind him?
Yeah, I mean, it's absolutely a great individual milestone, but it's also a testament to his teammates that are around him. I know Laz would think the same thing, being surrounded by such great teammates. We've got a great staff who worked with him, and he's put so much work in on his own to be in this position to hit that mark. I know it's something that we're excited for, as it does represent a great team and individual accomplishment. I don't think that there's pressure. I think that we're going to embrace it as the day comes. Right now, we're focused on practice, and when we get to that moment, we'll get to that moment. But I think it's something that can be a momentum booster for us if we get to that point early in the season. But the real focus here for our team is winning as a team, more than just scoring at the first game.
With the team as a whole, you go in, I know you love that fast-paced type game. Conditioning coming into play, or you're not the least bit worried about their conditioning?
I think these guys are in terrific shape. These guys are year-long athletes. I think we're very blessed to have athletes who primarily play basketball. We don't have too many multi-sport athletes, which I think is pretty rare.
Yeah, I'm just going to say that's rare, especially for a Group 1 school. Group 1 school, a lot of the players go from baseball, from football, basketball, or wrestling, soccer, whatever, but just two.
That's right. We are a Group 2 school now.
Oh, you're right.
We are.
Okay.
We're at that threshold
Yeah.
between that 460 and 706 mark. We're in there around that mid 500 mark. But it is very rare to have athletes who are strictly devoted to one sport. But I got a lot of respect for our team and these players who are so devoted to the game of basketball that it motivates me to want to continue my pursuit of excellence in the sport as well.
You thought about your defense. What type of style of defense you're most comfortable with?
We want to play pressure defense. We want to be in good positions where we're not fouling. We want to commit turnovers and turn that into offense for us. I think that's going to be a point of emphasis for us as we continue to go through the preseason.
You think you have the players that are able to keep up with that level, rotating them in? I know you may not know who your starters are, but I assume you know a top 7 of the group that you're comfortable with.
Yeah.
Or who you may have coming off.
We're
the bench.
extremely lucky to have a deep team of experienced players.
That's great.
Yeah, we've got a very deep team full of seniors. We have one sophomore at this point, Alex Rosmi, who's coming off a good freshman year. I think he's ready to take a big leap into his sophomore season. But we're incredibly lucky and fortunate to have the group of seniors that we do in that conditioning as a 17, 18-year-old, to have that level of physicality. I don't see that being an issue. I think we have a great staff with the way we rotate our players, and we have complete trust in the entire roster from first to last guy the entire way through.
Talk about your staff a little bit. your fellow coaches?
Yeah, terrific staff here. We'll start with our JV head coach, Eric Galato.
Mhm.
We've been able to co-teach now together for 5 years as well. He does a terrific job and is extremely committed. That goes to speak for our entire staff. We'll start with his seniority and Rob Hawk, who has been here and has given so much of himself to the South River community and the South River boys basketball program that he coached me when I played here at that age. So having him come back into the staff when I first took over was paramount, to have a staff that we trust, a staff that we know, and a staff that we believe in. That continues with Tom Cassidy Sr., who also was involved in coaching when I was here.
Right.
He's done so much for the South River community as well. He's just such a terrific entity and presence and veteran personality to be around our program and our young men. And that brings another member, Jerry Grosby, who started the same year I started. And he's done so much for our program in terms of player development and commitment and coaching and being such a positive entity for our programs and our kids that we would not be anywhere that we are right now without the staff that we have. I can't take credit for what we've done without crediting the incredible staff that we have. Love those guys. We're our own starting five, and we might not be able to keep up with those guys on the floor, but we've got a really great coaching staff. I'm so lucky and blessed to have those guys that it just makes my job that much easier when they're there.
One thing I like to see during pregame warm-ups and all, how they all have their own area that they work on with the kids, whether it's shooting, whether it's defense and all. That's nice. It makes your job a little easier where you can observe and see what's there.
Yeah.
But it also shows how the team gets along and goes hand in hand with one another.
Absolutely. We try to emulate positivity and communication as a staff so that our players see that as well. And you'll see me pacing around pregame, where a lot of our staff is working with player development, getting guys loose and ready to be engaged in the game. Like I said, just having them makes my job so enjoyable. I mean, even more enjoyable to have those guys go along this journey with me and the team.
And it gives me a chance to get an interview with you and not pull you over.
Yeah, that's right. And I can trust them always to talk to the guys, be with our players, just be terrific models of responsibility, excellence, and commitment that they're invaluable.
Let's talk about your division, the Blue Division. Who do you think the biggest rivals are this year?
Well, we're a team that our sights are set on every single night that we compete on the floor. We have not won the Blue Division since 1992. So obviously there's a rivalry with Spotswood, Coach Made and what he does with that program. But to us, every single night is a rivalry. We haven't won this division in 30 years. We're looking at the approach that we're going to play every single team as if they are a rival with that level of competitiveness on a nightly basis.
Do you think certain teams are coming in and you know that they're going to be a battle? You know,
Absolutely. I think that after the season we had last year, I think every single team is going to come at us playing their best basketball.
exactly, because they're going to have to beat you.
Yeah, and that
If they can.
sharpens us. That sharpens us to play high-level competition every single night, getting everyone's best. I like it that way. I think our team would embrace that type of challenge, and I anticipate everybody coming to the gym and giving us their best each night.
Who do you open up the season with?
We open up the season against the Metuchen Bulldogs at home to get our season
Thoughts
started.
about that game?
Yeah,
First game is, I always feel a first game is an eye-opener, for lack of a better term. Is everything we've been working on going to work? Or were we doing something that's not working right? Or what the problem is? Or no, look, it's gelling the way we want early on.
Yeah, Coach Cardillo and Metuchen do a really nice job of playing hard. They played us hard. They played us hard both matchups last year. They're a very competitive team. Obviously, we're excited that we get a chance to open our season at home. We've got complete confidence in our team, in our staff, in our players to come out and play the level of basketball that I know we're capable of playing.
We wish you nothing but good luck, a successful season.
Thank you.
Hopefully you can extend your season further than you did last year, whether it's one game or multiple games. But I know you got to be hoping to have that Blue Division, man, up there for you also.
Absolutely. We want to get to that point, and we're going to continue to embrace each day before we look forward to March or to February when those division rankings come out or
Understood.
when the state seeds come out. Our focus right now is on today's practice and getting through that and going forward.
We'll let you get over to practice. Thank you for your
I
time.
appreciate that.
Good
Thank
luck
Fred.
to you and the team.
Thanks so much.
Take care, Coach.
All right.
We'll be back in just a few minutes. We're going to interview some of the players we were just talking about. Welcome back, Fred Roselli here, TV 35. We had the opportunity to speak with the coach. Just so I don't feel as small as I really am, I had to have these guys sit down. If not, I would have really been swarmed with what the size I have here. We're going to start over here to my left. We're going to introduce players. Just indicate for TV 35 your name and your position.
My name is Roman Santos. I play the forward position.
Jeremy Grosby, senior, guard.
Kobe Taylor, senior center.
Alex Grosby, sophomore point guard.
Lazaro Rodriguez, senior forward.
Before we get into everything here, let's talk about, we'll call him the youngster in the group. Alex, only when it's not a senior here. Does that affect you any at all? Did they give you the business or?
No, I grew up playing with these guys, so I love playing with them. It's just the same as it's always been. So no pressure really. Just it's a lot to move on from playing next year here. So that's gonna be a big deal.
Kobe, a lot of players talked about you last year, all in the positive. Love to see this man come off the bench. Love to see the way you play the game. What are your thoughts now as a senior? What are your goals for this year?
Same as last year, just trying to win the states with my friends and my teammates.
Do you think the five of you as a whole, you've matured over the years, especially the seniors?
Oh yeah,
The
for
squad
sure.
you got here now?
Yeah, for sure.
How about the other guys? Thoughts on that?
Yes, we've definitely grown since freshman year as a collective, just playing basketball all year round every year, and just getting to build our chemistry all together. So,
Do you find the fact that you're seniors, or most of you are seniors, that the experience of playing together as much as you did, you know who's going to be where if you're in the bind. If somebody's double teaming up on you, trying to trap you in the corner, you know who to look for and all. Is it second nature now after all the years of playing together?
yeah, playing with these guys all year round, just it builds that trust between each other. It's like a brotherhood, and we play together as one, and that's why on the shirts we are one, and that's our motto.
This year for the team, Coach likes that upbeat offense, upbeat defense, fast pace. Anything problem with that, or is that what you've been working on all summer also?
That's what we've been working on, practice conditioning. We know that a lot of teams can't hang with us if we run. We're a fast-paced team. Most teams can't keep up with that, so we like to keep it fast-paced.
Anybody else thoughts on that?
We take pride in our pressure defense. We're always up in their faces, and we're looking to cause problems whenever we can.
Well, obviously, like Coach was talking about, if they got the tough defense, it helps your offense. Get the turnover, get it up court quick. Always the name of the game. Laz, I'm going to put you on the spot a little bit. Anybody who followed South River basketball knows that you have the opportunity to reach an elite group of 1,000-point scorer. Let's take you back a few years. Ever cross your mind early on?
No, it never really was a goal for me. I mean, coming in as a freshman, I didn't expect to have such a, I wouldn't say a huge impact, but just I didn't expect such a successful individual. Obviously, we had a very hard freshman year going 2-23, but we're definitely proud for as a team where we've come, and scoring 1,000 it's a good individual award for me, but it's also a reflection on our group as a whole, as teammates, as a staff, that put me in the right position at the right time. So.
Do you feel more comfortable with that pinnacle being able to reach it early on in the season as opposed to you need 140 points this year, and as the season goes, it puts a little pressure on you?
Yeah, for sure. The goal is to try to hit as fast as we can. Is that first game, second game, just to kind of get out of the way. Just obviously, I'm gonna take it in. Grateful for the award, but definitely want to just get it in so we can focus on what the tasks are.
There was a Yankee player named Judge who was happy to get it behind him,
Yes.
just hitting that extra home run at the end of the year.
For sure. Yeah,
Sometimes it puts pressure on you, sometimes it doesn't.
Yeah, it should be fun season. So I'm looking forward to that.
Thoughts in general about the Blue Division? Should it be tougher this year? No, from what we saw, summer leagues and all, doesn't look like we should have a tough time. We're in good shape.
Yeah. Every game we gotta take it the same way. Just put our foot on their necks and just never take our foot off the pedal.
Guys feel like that's capable for you to do this year?
Absolutely. I think last year we definitely fell short of the Blue Division goal that we had in mind. Now that we're all more experienced, we're very senior heavy. obviously with our sophomore Alex, but we've got more experience. We're more mature in that aspect of those big game situations. So definitely a goal of mine for us.
Fans don't know, but Coach ain't around right now. But what are your thoughts about your toughest games this year, team-wise? Who you playing at? This one may be a tough one. That may be a tough one. There could be different answers.
Like Alex said, all games we have to take the same way. Can't underestimate anyone, overestimate anyone. You gotta just play the same against everybody.
I think every team is going to be a challenge, but if we do what we do, we should be good.
Any game, this is addressed just to the seniors. Is there any one game you feel you've got to sweep them because this is your going out year? You want to beat, I know, for example, football, always a big rivalry with Spotswood. We just want to beat Spotswood, for bragging rights or whatever. We'll run it right down. Last, starting with you. Any one team you're looking at you really like to know you left senior season, having beaten them?
I mean,
besides all the teams.
Well, that's my I want to go out sweeping every not being like in a cocky stance.
No, I understand
but like
what you mean.
I want to go out as a team playing our best and getting the best outcome for every team that we play. So.
Your thoughts on it?
Yeah, definitely. Obviously, Spotswood is our rivals, so I haven't lost to them yet. I don't know about these guys, but
We'll see, once you got into the picture, you were able to carry them. It just takes a little bit of time. They didn't realize that when you weren't there.
Yeah, every team we should in the blue division we should definitely sweep this year. But even out of the blue division, we should take every game as it is. Like I said before, nothing's gonna be easy for us this year. Everything's gonna be earned. So
teams come in knowing what they're facing when they're facing you guys. You realize that. They know that they got to be at their top game to be the top team, and you guys certainly fit that makeup. Kobe, your thoughts about teams?
I would say Piscataway is very big on our list. That's the one team we really need to dig deep and beat.
Okay. It's a doable one.
Oh, yeah, for sure. Doable.
Your thoughts?
I would definitely also say Spotswood, because with fans back, you can have those big crowds. Those are always fun games. Another team in South Plainfield, they beat us twice last year. We only beat them once. So we're looking to get them back this year.
Having to agree with Jeremy, Spotswood and South Plainfield are at the top of my list. Having lost to South Plainfield twice, it obviously hurt, and we're looking to get them back.
If it came down to the last game of the year for the Blue Division title, between you and who would make most satisfying to you?
Definitely Spotswood.
Spotswood? Thoughts? Just rolling down here. Sorry.
Spotswood.
Kobe?
Spotswood.
Anyone who makes it there.
Okay.
Spotswood.
All right. So that's Spotswood. So, see, it's unusual because when old guys like myself and Mr. Lindensky were here, Spotswood went to school here, so they were not a rival. They were your teammates. Yeah, wow. Way back when. But with the dinosaurs that were out there, we lost a few, got stepped on. We were still okay, guys. Guys, we wish you nothing but good luck. We hope you have a great season. I'd like to see you guys here. Coach knows we only do interviews when you win. So he knows how much I like to do interviews with the guys. It's obvious I'm not afraid to talk. But we wish you nothing but good luck. Hope it's the best season for all of you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
On behalf of us here at TV 35, these are only some of the players you're going to see. Season's going to be starting up in just about a week and a half or so. Come on up here to the high school. There's boys basketball, girls basketball, almost every night something going on. Give all the fans here, give all the players here your support. On behalf of myself, Art Lindensky, special thanks to our camera crew headed by Rich Dudas. Special thanks to Coach who's already back in here. I kept you guys out of practice for a while. Thank you and good night.